talk about the history of Black American liberation activists in Cuba. Cuban leader Fidel Castro had long tried to court African American support for Cuba ever since the victory of the Cuban Revolution and the promotions of Cuba as an island without racism for African American tourists. Now, civil rights leader and the first prominent American fugitive in Cuba, Robert F. Williams, was invited to live in Cuba after legal prosecutions after him in the United States in 1969. Williams went to Cuba in 1961 by the way of Canada and Mexico. In August 1961, he and his wife left the U.S. for several years to avoid kidnapping charges after a white couple got lost in the black part of town in Monroe. The local police and the FBI allegedly convinced the couple to say Williams had kidnapped them, and the FBI put out a warrant for his arrest, causing him to flee to Cuba and later the People's Republic of China. These charges were dropped by the state when his trial opened in 1975 following his return in 1970. While in Cuba, he credited the Crusader newspaper and hosted radio shows at Radio Free Dixie, where he regularly broadcast addresses from Cuba to Southern blacks. The radio station featured music, political conversation, and storytelling. And over time, while in Cuba, Williams began to become disillusioned with Cuba, believing the island was controlled by a white petite bourgeois, while Afro-Cubans were feeling the pinch of fast returning subtle racism, and also later suggested against black militants without criminal histories hijacking planes to come to Cuba. Williams was also discouraged from promoting black nationalist beliefs by the Cuban government. Between 1967 and 1968, dozens of Black Panthers found refuge in Cuba. Eldridge Cleaver was exiled to Havana, Cuba in 1968 after facing federal charges. And during his stay, he asked for Cuba to militarily train Black Panthers to invade the United States in a reverse Bay of Pigs, but the proposition was rejected. By 1969, a myriad of Black Panthers in Cuba complained about not being allowed to organize their party or discuss African culture, and arrest following protesting conditions in Cuba or asking to leave the country. Hijackings committed by blacks in the U.S. bound to Cuba between 1968 and May 1969 were exclusively escaped criminals and political activists, but none of them were Black Panther Party members. It was only after William Lee Brent's hijacking that other Black Panthers would find political exile in Cuba. Most moved on to Algiers, where Eldridge Cleaver, Minister of Information for the Black Panther Party, headed international section of the BPP. Many exiled Panthers and former hijackers now turned Panthers made up Cleaver's group. Lorenzo Camboa Irvin was a black anarchist and former BPP member. In February 1969, Irvin hijacked a plane to Cuba to evade prosecution for allegedly trying to kill a Ku Klux Klan member. In 1974, co-founder of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton, was arrested a second time for the murder of a 17-year-old Kathleen Smith, but he was able to post an additional $80,000 bond, thus securing his release until trial. Newton and his girlfriend, later his wife, Gwen Fontaine, then fled to Havana, Cuba, where they lived until 1977, which prevented further prosecutions on the two charges. While he was in Cuba, he mostly kept to himself in his home in Santa Clara. BPP member and Tupac Shakur's godmother, Assata Shakur, found refuge in Cuba in 1984. Now why? Well, in 1977, she was convicted in the murder of State Trooper Werner Forster during a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike in 1973, where she was shot in the arm. Zaid Malik Shakur was supposedly the shooter, and he was killed during the shootout. While serving a life sentence for murder, the escape from Clinton Correctional Facility for Women in New Jersey in 1969, engineered by her husband, Mutulu Shakur, with assistance from the BLA and members of the May 19th Communist Organization, whose names stem from the birthdays of Malcolm X and Vietnamese revolutionary Ho Chi Minh. After the escape, Assata was granted political asylum in Cuba in 1984. She has been in Cuba ever since, and that's most likely why they say Tupac is in Cuba. She has been on the FBI Most Wanted Terrorist list since 2013 as Joanne Deborah Chesimard, and was the first woman to be added to the list. By the time Shakur resided in Cuba, the Cuban government had relaxed procedures used on fugitives residing in Cuba and mainly left her to her own devices. Taking a 10-minute break. Man, this shit something like this. Look at that back there. You see back there? I'm gonna get something like that. Best believe that. Away from civilization, away from society. For real, man. Anybody who knows me know that that's how I would like my situation to be. So, the stray dogs down there, they just came to me. Let's go talk to them. What's up, buddy? You got fleas? Bless you, buddy. I love you too. This is what you're supposed to eat. Grass. You don't need to kill this guy to get the protein that this offers. Do your research, man. Do your research. One love. My brethren over there. Word. Oh, there's bulls over there. Wow. It's like on a skateboard. Don't hit him, man. Abuse. Hey, brethren. Y'all are big. Hey. What's up? How you doing? I don't know if I should touch you. You got fleas, but I'm sending you my aura, my universal love. Of you? You? Are you? There's nothing like escaping the city and seeing trees more than buildings. This is what I call peace. For real. Chickens hawking. Man, I hate the city. I hate this city. Give me this any day. For real. Look at that. Wow. Oh, look at it. You know, me and off-beaten paths have a strong love connection. I am in the countryside of Vinales, Cuba. Come out here, just peace and quiet. All you hear is animals, roosters, chickens, cows, bulls. You don't hear chatter from humans. That disturbs me. Let's call out to the ancestors. Let me sing along with the animals. That is some Kemetic yoga poses based on the hieroglyphs on the ancient walls of Kemet. Brethren. He's gonna block the path. We just gonna have a stare off. Can I come over? Yes, bird friend? Alrighty. Look at him turning his head like, who the fuck is my man meditating again? Alright, love you too. He is knocked out. What's up? I am not chasing you. I don't want you. I love you, man. Somebody getting a house built right here. Look at that. Out of nature. My man. Baller. If I had some scissors, I just and you can roam free all throughout Cuba, man. Look at the baby goat. Hey, buddy. Just doing Buddha under the Bodhi tree things. Meditating right here with the plantation fields, the crops, doing their thing. I'm just here reading actually some Ifa philosophies, Orisha stuff, Black gods, man. It's amazing, man. Just chilling. Mountain behind me. Now let's talk about Santeria and the Orishas. Santeria is an Afro-Caribbean religion that developed in Cuba during the late 19th century. It arose amid a process of syncretism between the traditional Yoruba religion of West Africa, Catholicism, and Spiritism. Santeria teaches the existence of a transcendent created divinity, El-Dumarè, under whom are spirits known as the Orishas. Typically deriving their names and attributes from traditional Yoruba deities, these Orishas equated with Roman Catholic saints and associated with various myths. Each human is deemed to have a personal link to a particular Orisha who influenced their personality. As Black spiritual beings, we say Ashe, with the general connotation being affirmation and hopeful wishes, and it is used in the same concept as the Western Amen, and a replacement for Amen. But what does it actually mean? El-Dumarè is believed to be the ultimate source of Ashe, which is a supernatural force permeating the universe that can be manipulated through ritual actions. It represents the power that makes things happen and produces change. Similar to the Ankh, it represents giving life to all things. So Ashe is no different than animism because El-Dumarè gives Ashe to everything, such as the gods, ancestors, spirits, humans, animals, plants, rocks, rivers, and voiced words such as songs, prayers, praises, curses, and even everyday conversation. Existence, according to the Yoruba thought, is dependent upon it. Practitioners venerate the Orishas at altars, either in their home or in the house temple, which is run by a Santero, aka priest, or a Santera, aka priestess. Offerings to the Orishas include fruit, liquor, flour, and sacrificed animals. A central ritual is the Toco de Santo, in which practitioners drum, sing, and dance to encourage the Orishas to possess one of their members and thus communicate with them. Several forms of divination are used, including Ifa, to decipher messages from the Orishas. Offerings are also given to the spirits of the dead, with some practitioners identifying as spirit mediums. Healing rituals and the preparation of herbal remedies and talismans also play a prominent role. Santeria developed among Afro-Cuban communities following the Atlantic slave trade of the 16th to the 19th centuries. It formed through the blending of the traditional religions brought to Cuba by enslaved West Africans, the majority of them Yoruba, and Roman Catholicism, the only religion legally permitted on the island by the Spanish colonial government. In urban areas of West Cuba, these traditions merged with the Spiritist ideas to form the earliest isles during the late 19th century. During the Cuban War of Independence resulted in the independent republic in 1898, its new constitution enshrined freedom of religion. The Santeria nevertheless remained marginalized by Cuba's Roman Catholic, Euro-Cuban establishment, which typically viewed it as witchcraft. In the 1960s, growing immigration following the Cuban Revolution spread Santeria abroad. The late 20th century saw growing links between Santeria and related traditions in West Africa and the Americas, such as Haitian voodoo and Brazilian candomblé. The combinations of African religions and European dogmas is still being indoctrinated by the West. Your mind is not fully decolonized. So since the late 20th century, some practitioners have emphasized the Yorubization process to remove Roman Catholic influences and created forms of Santeria closer to traditional Yoruba religions, trying to decolonize their minds even more. Now, Ifa is recorded among the Yoruba people of West Africa. The expansion of Yoruba influence over neighboring peoples resulted in the spread of Ifa. For instance, Tafan people practicing West African voodoo. As a result of the Atlantic slave trade, enslaved initiates of Ifa were transported to the Americas. There, Ifa survived in Cuba, where it developed an overlap with Afro-Cuban religious traditions such as Santeria and Abukua. Growing transnational links between Africa and the Americas during the 1970s also saw attempts by West African Babalawas to train and initiate people in countries like Brazil and the United States. Break fast. I got a dog right here wanting some food. Look at him. Oh, he want that bread. Just chilling with the chickens. Peace. Roosters, chickens wake us up at 5-something a.m. About to catch a taxi to the beach. Sun is not out right now, but it should. This beach is amazing. Now, America's favorite explorer, Christopher Columbus, arrived in 1492 in Cuba. Christopher Columbus is believed to be the first European to step onto the shores of Cuba, which he called Cuba, the fairest island human eyes have yet beheld. When he first arrived in 1492, he discovered an island already inhabited by 3 different groups of indigenous peoples: the Taínos, the Siboneyes, and the Guanajuato-Bayes. Currently, scholars estimate that there were between 50,000 to 300,000 indigenous people occupying the island at the time. Spain began their severe colonization of the islands, converting them first into military bases, then into gold mines and extensive plantations. The indigenous islanders were nearly exterminated by diseases from the Europeans, overwork, maltreatment, and Spanish brutality during imperial rule, or absorbed into Spanish lines of descent through intermarriage through the 1400s and 1500s. Spain soon began transporting enslaved Africans to work the fields and mines. By the 19th century, the islands had become economic powerhouses, producing hugely profitable sugar, coffee, and tobacco crops. But they were also political powder kegs, and inhabitants, the descendants of Spanish colonists, free and enslaved Africans and native islanders, fought to be freed themselves from Spanish rule. By the end of the century, the people of Cuba were on the verge of independence, and Cuba would achieve independence in 1902. But by the end of the century, it will become defined by its hostile relations with the U.S. and its allies. Look at this. Look at this. Now this is peace. I needed some water. Havana ain't for me, man. I need countryside and the beach. Countryside and the beach, for real. 5 minutes before this footage, 2 women from France approached me, asking me where I was from. Just a quick chat, and they proceeded to walk further down the beach.
A few moments later.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Gotta escape the city, escape the matrix, man. Escape the matrix. Escape the matrix, for real. All right.
You later eat, remember.
I will. I'll come around like 12 o'clock maybe.
Yes.
All right, I got you. All right. I taught them comedic yoga, and they taught me how to swim. Salute. I'm in my revolutionary gear right now. Let's start the trekking. Oh, look at him. So yesterday, I taught Aziza and her friend a little bit of comedic yoga on the beach. Oh shit, I forgot my glasses. Fuck. Whatever. But yeah, I taught comedic yoga on the beach a little bit. And after that, this guy from Argentina walks up to me. He's like, where you from? And I asked him, was that his wife? Because he was with a woman, right? He was like, no, this is my friend. He was like, I like man. I'm like, huh? I made him say it like 4 times for clarification. He's like, I like man. And he put his hand on my on my shoulder. Then I was like, oh no, I'm all woman. I love women. And he was like, those 2 girls, they're your girlfriends? The sun will pop out probably in like 2 hours. I'm lost like a motherfucker right now. But it's all good because I am very directionally challenged. But I'm gonna find this motherfucker. For real. I'm gonna ask as many people. Found 2 people that spoke English and helped me. But find somebody else. I'm so directionally challenged, it's crazy. Like last night, the Airbnb host, her daughter, she speaks English. So she told me once I get to the city, like 11 minutes walk from the Airbnb, make a left. Like I wrote it down. I forgot I wrote it down. So when I get to the city street, I make a right. So that's why I'm way the fuck up here. I ran into my friends from yesterday. Fate is crazy. So I thought I was gonna go rock climbing with my friend Ziza. But when her taxi pulled up, it was a fucking motorcycle. Only for one. So now here I am walking again, trying to find this prehistoric mural place. I think it's mountains and shit over there, so I don't know. I done finally fucking made it. Wow. Sign is over there. It's beautiful as hell out here, man. The country. The mural. My Prehistoria. Let me see. Muro de la Prehistoria. We getting rowdy, man. Hey, buddy. Hi. Love you too. I love you too. I love you.
This fool trying to run up on me.
You are an aggressive lover. Come on, man. You love hard. Relax. I do too. But not like that. Poor babies, man. Poor babies. Being the slaves of humans. The animal kingdom is not less than the human kingdom. I want you to know that now. My man is pooping. Do your thing. You know, eat your greens and shit that shit out. Now I'm in the vicinity. He's over there. See what that blue is up there? There he is over there. Ancestor call. We got ancestral activities going on. As Kendrick say, whacked out murals. Let's go touch it. That look like father and son up there. Whacked out murals. May the ancestors continue to live within me. Ashe. You know, the explorer in me. El-Dumarè the explorer. I see a path, off being path. Calls my name. Let's see where it goes.
The real
Like
gangster is the revolutionary, the man who fears nothing but living as a slave, brave enough to speak against tyranny and stand up against elitist colonizers because he's graced with the purpose to inspire and awaken the higher consciousness of others. Fight for love, fight for truth, and slay your demons as you fight for your peace.
Wow. Small cave. Just chill right here for a minute. Meditate.
I want you all to do some box breathing with me. Inhale 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and exhale for 4 seconds. 444, which equals the sacred number of 12. Meditation is the language of the true God.
Finally got my glasses. I'm leaving that Airbnb, then I'll go to my next place. Peace.
No one needs more self-care than a spirit warrior. Fellow soldiers, don't forget to rejuvenate the mind, body, and soul. And after hiking all over Vinales, this is how a god should revitalize their energy field.
Let me give you a nice little tour of the house. Yo, this is all me, all by myself. Peace and quiet. Just the animals. Let's go. Let's step inside the palace. Got the TV, fan, dining room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms. It's my room. Bathroom. And the guest room. A pool. A pool. Man, this place is beautiful. This is perfect place to end my trip to Vinales. Then back to Havana for one day, then back home. Ashe.
As we do another pit stop of meditation, box breathing, 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, and repeat.
It's raining. It's the first time it's raining since I've been here. The rain is crazy, look. Coming all through my window, wetting up my room. Alrighty. Nah, but I love the sound of it. As long as the bed ain't getting wet, I'm alright. Fuck it. Beautiful rising. Hear the pigs. Yo, last night, I finally understood the term where people say you snore like a pig. I heard this pig snoring last night, like humans, right? And I never heard it. So I'm like, wow. That is disgusting. Now I look at snoring just even more like, man, it's crazy. The roots of sound therapy can be traced back to ancient civilizations, where sound was revered for its powerful effects on the mind, body, and spirit. In ancient Egypt, priests used chanting and incantations to induce altered states of consciousness and promote healing. Similarly, in India, the practice of Nada Yoga, or the yoga of sound, incorporated vocal chants, mantras, and musical instruments to balance and harmonize the chakras. Oh, shit. In Hinduism, the Kundalini is the life force of dormant, divine, feminine, spiritual, liberating energy that lies like a coiled serpent at the base of the spine and can be activated when it's raised to the crown. Through spiritual tantric practices such as meditation, pranayama, yoga, and chanting mantras. Breakfast. Bananas fresh off the trees. Pineapples, mangoes. Grateful. I crushed the pineapple, so let's get to this. When you eat fruits and greens, people will ask you, are you on a diet? But that just shows you how sick the world is. Eating healthy is our natural elixir. And the word diet has die in it. We know the quote, you are what you eat. So isn't it common sense that eating death makes you dead inside? And eating life, such as plants, make you lively. Humans don't look at the animal kingdom as one. So humans don't understand that eating animal flesh makes you a cannibal. Eating animal flesh is the Western diet. Eating fruits and veggies is the Eastern diet, the natural way of life. The greatest thing you can ever do is to decolonize your mind from Western ways. I just tell people that you are a walking pet cemetery, and that makes them go, okay. This is what you call a refreshment. Hey. Oh, your eye. I love you too. I know you're looking for food, but I don't have it. Sorry, buddy. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hi. You're pretty. I don't know if I should rub you. See you, hey. Don't be doing that. Hey, dog. Really? Gotta get back on this bus. There's a fire somewhere. Somebody set fire to the... Wow. It's a bed over there. It's the living room. This is the bathroom. Shower. It's a nice cozy spot with your curtain. Now, go into this room. Now this is the other bed. Sleep on. Relax. Bathroom. And that's not it. What is this door? Oh, a little balcony. Oh, this is beautiful.